How's that, better?
Lou, can you hear Phil?
I can't hear Phil. I can hear you though.
Oh,
There, now I can hear you.
good. Okay. How you doing?
Okay, and you?
Able to sit up and take nourishment?
Yep. Any day above the grass is a good day.
That's right. No naps. All right, we got a couple minutes. Christine, can you take the minutes again tonight?
Yes.
Thank you.
So Phil, you got out of the town of Litchfield? You're all done there? Guess you can't hear me.
All right, Carrie just asked me to resend her the link, so just give me 1 second. We'll try to get her in. Just go to Zoom and I'll give you the meeting ID. Give Carrie one more minute. I just forwarded her the link in the user account again. All right, Trace, talk so they can hear you.
Does everybody hear me?
Can everybody hear Tracy?
I can't.
Talk again.
Does everybody hear me?
That's better.
Okay. You might get the back of my head then.
I can hear you.
All right, Carrie just joined.
Okay. Call the meeting to order at 7. Present is Tracy, Chris, Christine, Carrie, Bill, and Adele. So it looks like we have all regular members here.
Carrie, talk so we can hear you.
I'm here.
Perfect. Let's get into it. Perfect. Well, we got Lou here tonight, so let's start with Lou. I'm going to put Lou's budget up and we'll open it up for questions.
Just a quick question. Do we need to see Adele for David?
Oh, that's right. David's not here. Yeah, motion to see Adele.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Okay.
Bill seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, Adele is seated for David.
Okay,
Okay, back to Lou.
Give me just a second. I'm
Yep.
working to it. All right, everyone should have the highway budget in front of them. Can you see it?
Yes.
Perfect. So Lou, let's start with the highway seasonal. What were you thinking for that?
Well, we're doing more and more around town between the park and ball fields and the rec department and with all the mowing we're doing, it takes away, if we get a rainy season, it takes 2 days just to do the ball fields and kind of doesn't leave much time to get other work done. So I'd like to have one part-time guy just to help with the mowing over the beach and then put them on roadside mowing. And then, whatever we need them for and whatever we have hours for. That's my thoughts behind that.
Okay, we had talked about the tire and your highways, the snowplow blades. Because you're kind of over on this year, do you think we need that same limit next year, Lou, or you think we can get some concession?
No, it will be good, just what we're budgeted for. We just ran into a couple of tire problems this year and we ran into a snow blade problem. One of them wore out quicker than it should have, but I think we'll be good for next year, the same amount we got budgeted.
Anyone else have any questions for Lou?
I have a question about,
Cooperative
this is-
program, aren't we looking for equipment like snowplow blades and
I only
tires?
heard part of that, Phil.
What's that?
I only heard part of that.
I said, we're still in that cooperative program with other towns.
Snowplow blades, it looks like we're gonna go out to bid again because we've been dealing with Bach out of Pennsylvania and there's some better pricing around. So I think Rick Lynn's gonna put it out to bid again this summer. But as far as the other stuff, yes, we still got the equipment. We still get the salt through our COG bid. And then, mainly a lot of equipment. It helps a lot. And the salt is a lot cheaper through them too. We pay $59.83 a ton through our bid through salt, and some of the other bids are $10 and $15 higher.
Significant.
What's that?
That's significant.
Yeah, no, it's at least $8 to $10 cheaper.
Okay.
And as far as this year, we're good on salt. We only used a little under, just about $28,000. So we're in good shape this year. It was kind of an easy winter, except for February.
What are your road maintenance projects that you have planned?
East Shore Road. And then we got a little bit of work on Isaiah Smith.
How's East Shore Road coming along? Where do you think you're at on it?
Half done.
I have a question on the seasonal mowing. How many acres are the ball field?
I have no idea. I don't know what there is for acreage over there.
And you're telling me it takes 2 days to mow that ball field?
In a wet, rainy season, it does.
So you're talking about doing it more than once a week?
Yes, definitely when a rainy season.
the school's not open this year again for sports, or will they be going over there? They didn't go over last year, right?
No, they didn't.
So this year,
Still got to mow them, still got to maintain them, whether they're there or not.
Even-
The schools
even
don't really
twice a
use
week?
I'm sorry, the schools don't really use the ball fields. It's the independent groups like CT Rush Soccer, Tri-Town Little League, lacrosse. It's not part of the school program.
right, so but are those programs going to be open this year? They weren't open
Yes.
last year. They're reopened?
We met with the Tri-Town Little League actually this afternoon.
Do they pay for that?
Yes,
Is that the ball field over by the town beach?
yep.
That was getting mowed by.
Do we increase their price because we're now have to have a seasonal person to help out? Or are we retaining whatever price was standard?
That you'd have to ask Kristen DeVilla. The Beach and Recreation Commission deals with the prices with the various groups.
Okay.
It's a good question, Christine. We should definitely note that when we have Kristen, and we can certainly make that a point. Anyone else have any other questions for Lou on his budget?
I just have one question. When Sam was working on the cabin,
Yep.
is that paid for by you? You've already told this, and I can't remember. Do you pay Sam? Whoever's working on it, you pay them as their regular fee.
Yeah, it's right out of the salary account. Yep.
Okay.
And then the only other new thing I got there is I put in, I think it was $2,400. I printed out my wrong sheet, so I don't have that figure in front of me for stump and wood disposal. We're getting so there's no place to get rid of stumps and wood from rotten trees, so we got to start taking some of that. I found a deal with Count and Arell. They'll take it for half the price that Supreme will.
A lot closer too.
Yeah, and a lot closer. So I like to just, I think it was $2,400 I threw in for that, and we'll just start chipping away at it little by little and get it cleaned up. So,
Transfer station been asking for a stump grinder for 5 years.
what's that?
Hasn't the transfer station been asking for a stump grinder?
You can haul it to Town and Arell a hell of a lot cheaper than you can get a tub grinder in there for.
And we can still burn at the transfer station.
That's right. But you get these big trees and especially big, big maples or something that are, 3, 4, 5 foot around. They used to have guys that would, if it was decent wood, would take it. But them guys are all gone now, and we got to get rid of that stuff somewhere. Nobody wants to handle that stuff that big for firewood,
Lou, how about in terms of capital? Let's just touch on that while we have you here. Are you looking for anything towards on the capital end?
We got to replace one truck. We got to go over that capital again, but like to do it next year, the year after. It's getting pushing 20 years old. I would like to refurb it, but you can't buy any cabs for that truck. So it's kind of a moot point. Cabs are getting pretty rotten. So then the other thing I mentioned to Tom, we were discussing a little bit. I'd like to start putting some money away for a salt shed. Like this February, there was plenty of salt to get, but they couldn't deliver it. And a couple storms, we were about out. In fact, we used sand a couple times because we just didn't have enough salt to deal with. And if we could put up a salt shed 2, 3, 4 years from now, I can get all the salt in October and we'd be good throughout the whole winter.
Yeah, we're going to meet, hopefully, maybe this coming week, the capital non-recurring committee and go over that budget.
And then we can use our existing shed to keep some of the equipment underneath so it's out of the weather in the wintertime.
Yep.
Our small shed that we do have. And I also requested our pressure washer is on its last leg, so we need to replace that. But other than that, that was about it.
Do you think we can get another year out of the truck at least?
Yeah, no, we can get another year or so. Year, even 2 if we really, really had to, but it is starting to get pretty rotten and the frame's starting to jack apart from the rust, but we can make it last a little longer. That way you can sink a little money aside for it.
What do you think a replacement on that's gonna be, Lou?
210 to 220 probably.
All right, anything else for Lou?
No, not for me.
All right, Lou, thanks for your time. Appreciate you
Thanks.
coming. answering our questions, and we'll probably hear from you again when we get towards the Capitol if we need you.
Yep. Okay.
Thanks, Lou.
Bye.
All right, well, we've got the highway budget in front of us. The only thing we haven't come to an agreement on is the seasonal wages. And let's open that up for discussion.
I'm against it.
Adele.
Yes.
Adele against, who's for it? Nobody's for it.
So I make a motion not to accept it.
Well, we don't need to make a motion. We're just,
Oh, I was gonna make up my mind.
yeah, there's no motion there. It's just,
Okay.
Yeah. it's either,
Stuck with it forever.
yeah, we're not making a motion. It's, we would vote on it if it got there, but,
No, we're voting on the whole budget.
Yeah.
Just an FYI, let's always wait to vote on the whole budget when we're done.
Okay.
It just gets us into trouble if we don't.
I think we can leave it out for now, and we can certainly come back to that. I think, maybe hear what David has to say too. I know he's not here tonight.
Well,
And
the
what
fact
we're gonna
that
do
you
is,
can't answer how many acres there are to mow. I mean, the ball field isn't that big.
what we're gonna do tonight, guys, is kind of same thing we did last time. We're gonna get right to it and try to finalize some of these department budgets. I'm gonna leave out the beach and rec tonight. We're gonna invite Kristen to our next meeting. And remember, we've got Chris Leone coming on the 15th of April. I think it's the 15th, right? It's the second Thursday, to go over the school budget. And by then, we should be in a pretty good position to get our budget to finalization, minus maybe waiting on capital or the school budget to finalize. And then we can basically get our stuff to finalize and have the annual budget meeting. All right, so we're gonna start back, and I'm gonna go through each department, and we'll, like I said, just making notes on anything we're missing so we can get this to a head, and it should be a nice, quick, short meeting tonight, and then we'll approve minutes. All right? Great. So we're pretty set on our budget for BOF. We basically went through it on the last thing. We've basically agreed to everything. I don't think there's anything that's controversial here for us. Is everyone in agreement there?
Yes.
Can I just ask something about the date of Chris Leone, since the Board of Ed is before that? They're going to be voting on their budget on the 4th or the 5th. So everything is already accepted, and then he comes to us in the mid-April. How does that work?
You want me to go over this is how we do a Board of Ed budget? Okay. Because we're a region, the Board of Education budget is done by a 3-town vote. So the Board of Ed is doing what we're doing right now. They're putting together their budget, just like we are. Chris Leone is gonna come to each of the towns. They're gonna have a meeting. They'll have, I don't know if they'll do it on Zoom or whatever. They have what's called a public hearing, just like we do, where people can ask questions, express their concerns, and then they go to a formal vote. It's a tri-town vote. So that's how the school budget works. Then they tell us whatever's voted on, those are the numbers. So because we're a region, we don't really control the school budget or really have a lot of input. I mean, we can voice our concerns or our opinions, but that's the way the school budget works. So the Board of Ed right now is working on a budget. They'll come to something that they'll approve and then go on to public hearing, or the three towns will be visited, the Board of Finances. Then it'll be a public hearing, and then it'll be a vote, just like the town vote.
I can,
You understand that?
if I can add to that, they pretty much do have the budget all set. It was sent to the town. And they do have a meeting on April 5th, a Board of Ed meeting. And on April 19th, there's a budget hearing to discuss the budget. Then May 3rd is the budget meeting to vote.
Oh. Oh, okay. I misunderstood the article. Okay, thank you.
Everyone has a copy of that proposed school budget. I emailed it to everybody after our last meeting. So if you don't have it or you need another copy, let me know and I'll shoot it to you.
Can you send me another copy?
Yep,
Same here,
Close it.
Chris.
I keep losing emails.
no problem. I'll include it in the email after this to everyone, so everyone has another copy of it.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna keep rolling through the budget now. So I believe we got everything done on the fire department's budget. We finished the fire marshal's budget. Beach and rec, like I said, we're gonna skip over because we're gonna have Kristen in at the next one. The library one, I think we've completed this too.
Oh, we got books and magazine.
Oh, no, books and magazines, yeah. That was the one thing we're waiting on. They're requesting 9,000, we've approved 7. We were holding on this one for David. But, I mean, we can have a vote tonight on it if we want, or we can move on it. I mean, I think, my opinion is that we should give them the 9,000 just because if we don't, and we know they're having a tough time fundraising because of COVID, if we don't, we know in the fall, we're gonna do the same thing we did last fall and end up giving them, money out of contingency to cover their book fees. So I think it'd be much easier to give it to them now.
I agree.
Is anybody in disagreement?
No,
All right, then we give them the money. Perfect. So now we're done with the library budget. We really don't need them in. P and Z we're completed here. Anyone have any questions on this one? Yeah, I mean, they came back and said 12,000 was what they're looking for on legal.
Does a lot of that have to do with South Farms?
I'm sure they're gonna have legal there, but they don't have any legal on that yet. I think their legal currently is from outstanding appeals. But it's a
There's still cases in
crapshoot.
front of them right now, so that's what the legal is for. Some of the legal has been confirmed with the attorney over different matters that have come before the board.
Thank you.
No, I mean, it's pretty good planning to start at 12,000, so I'm comfortable with being there.
Okay, good. So I mean, we're basically done with P and Z. Tax collector, same thing, not a lot there to go over. Treasurer department is a lot of the same. We're not missing anything there. Board of Health is one number. Inland wetlands is less than we're looking at for last year. CBA looks finalized. The town clerk, I believe we've filled in all the gaps. The assessor's only increases is salary. Community hall is slightly up where we were from last year, but we've gone through everything there.
We may go up on fuel for the community hall.
I thought you locked in.
Well, what I'm saying is we may go up on fuel for the community hall because we'll probably be adding a generator. But I'll let you know once I get some quotes.
Okay. General government, I don't think we skipped over any cells.
I do have a question on the health insurance, and I think I referred to this last time. Tom, do you have a set figure with the HSAs that you reimburse each individual or a family or whatever?
Well, I'd suggest maybe call Laurel tomorrow. She has those figures.
Okay, all right. Okay, not a problem.
7430.
Yep, I know. Yep. Thank you.
So this just basically, we go back to highway where we're still missing.
Could you back up one?
Sure.
No, forward. You skipped.
Board of Health.
Yeah.
I mean, we're up here significantly from the Greenwoods Foundation.
Are we going with that? What was the discussion on? That was out half the time.
Tom, you want to reiterate on the Greenwood Foundation?
Well, I don't have the figures in front of me right now, but beginning of March, they were getting at least one overdose a day here in Litchfield County. And obviously Greenwoods does the counseling in Litchfield. They service the town of Morris. They give you the figures of the number of clients they service here in Morris. We're in an epidemic with opioid overdoses here. And we just felt that would be a good way to help do our part for the people in Morris to be able to seek these services from Greenwoods.
Tom, do we have any idea what the other towns contribute to Greenwoods?
I do not know.
No?
I don't have that information, no.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't object, obviously, I do not object at all to contributing, but, you know, I mean, if the other towns are in the same ballpark area, that's one thing, but if we're giving,
So other towns have varying populations also, so it's probably based on the population. And like I said at the last meeting, when I was speaking about this, we had an overdose right here in the town hall parking lot. They're happening all over the place here.
oh,
And
I know that.
To have the
I
counseling
realize
out there and available to the people, I think would be a good thing for the town of Morris.
Also think it's gonna be a very good thing for the town of Morris. And they've helped us out over the years, and I know of adjoining towns that have received their help. And they're a wonderful foundation.
Oh, they're fantastic. Yeah.
Listen, if there's any year to give, it's, it'd be this one, because obviously it's been tough fundraising for nonprofits.
Yep. Do we give to the Susan B. Anthony Foundation?
We do,
Okay, thank you.
and that was their request this year, 2,000.
Uh-huh, okay.
Fish.
All right, perfect, moving. So highway, we know one thing we're waiting on is the seasonal.
When do you decide that?
We're gonna wait for David and hear what his opinion is, and we'll have a vote on that.
Okay.
I mean, we could decide tonight, but the thing is David hasn't seen the budget yet, or hasn't been to a meeting. We've had a budget, and I just kind of feel like we should at least give him an opportunity to hear his opinion on some of these as a board member.
Well, we also had 3 members that said they wanted to think on it, so I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, tonight's not the night for it.
Yep, just wonder.
When we get there.
Tree warden's largely the same from last year, or the civil division. Same thing, doesn't seem much change. The BOS safety has got an $8,000 increase. And this is largely because of the EMT outside service.
Is that mostly from Litchfield with the 3% increase every year?
That is the service that supplies the EMT staffing. Mostly.
So is that separate from the 70, well, it was $73,000 the first year?
Yeah, there's 3 components to this. It's Bantam Fire, Litchfield Volunteer Ambulance, and Vintech.
Okay, so Vintech is how much now?
I don't have the number in front of me. They're all bundled together there.
Oh,
So that's
that
whole figure is-
290, 209, oh no, 298 includes Bantam, Litchfield, and Vintech.
Correct. Yep.
Oh, so then Vintech or somebody went down
I don't think so.
because wasn't Vintech was
90.
290 last year and 73,000 for Litchfield, I thought.
No,
Or no,
that
that was
line
all
item where it says Board of Selectmen Safety EMT outside service, that includes Bantam Fire, Litchfield Volunteer Ambulance, and Vintech,
Okay,
all 3.
okay.
Yep.
Do they have a criteria as to how they answer a call, Tom?
I'm sure they're held by certain statutes and
Well-
policies and procedures.
What I'm trying to say is I know, I'm going to use West
And
Morris
we really
Road.
shouldn't get into anything about how
Okay,
they
okay.
operate or anything like
All
that.
right.
We're talking about the budget. We're talking about the future budget. We're not talking about their operations. That's really not the time and place for that.
Okay, I said I would stop. You don't have to get
I just want to
confrontational.
explain it, that's all.
Got it.
All right, moving along. Nothing missing on the dog warden. Why did we not have license fees again this year, Tom?
I talked to town clerk and they said they haven't used that line item in years.
Okay. Building inspector's up,
But he's gonna get it in.
right, but he's bringing it in on the other side.
Right.
And the transfer station obviously is up on the salary side and on the recycling.
Yeah, the one question was the hazardous waste day. That is not really in Greg's hands at all. He has really nothing to do with that. I mean, if you want to bring that up based on what we spent last year, just because we had a lot of people that were cleaning out their basements and garages and getting rid of various hazardous waste. If you want to bring that up, you could, or, you know, roll the dice and leave it at 800.
You said it was about 1,600 this year?
Oh, anyone else have the numbers in front of them?
Yeah, it was over on the expenditure sheet on the last one. It
Yeah.
was up to about 1,600.
Correct, yeah,
Can we make it 1,200?
that might be good.
I'd roll the dice.
I mean,
How many times can you clean out your basement?
yeah, there's only so many times you're getting rid of hazardous waste. I mean,
That's right, that's a big thing.
I think we could go up though. I don't know about doubling, but
Pennies.
I think 1,000 or 1,200, like Christine suggests, and I think that's fair if we set that line item there. Because here's the thing, right? Hazardous waste ain't getting any cheaper to get rid of either.
Yep,
So we probably should be going up on this item, just like we're going up on the regular waste.
1,000 maybe, but I wouldn't go higher because, again.
and we did,
You're not gonna be home.
this is done through the Northwest Council of Governments, and they cannot get the same vendor they had previously. So they are expecting an increase in prices to dispose of the hazardous waste.
All right, is everybody okay going to 1,000 on this line item?
Yes.
Perfect.
Can I ask you to back up a second, Chris and Tom? I'm not being facetious, I want to say, but how many hours does the actual dog warden put in the town of Morris?
They're
I
on
don't know.
call 24/7.
I mean, you can't really look at last year's hours because we really didn't have them last year, so that's not an accurate depiction. And I think you'd have to go back a couple of years to get hours to determine how many hours.
It's
The dog
not
warden's
based on
active.
hours. It's not based on hours. It's based on availability of 24/7.
Well, I'm just saying, if you wanted to get hours, you'd probably have to go back. And I think the last dog warden we had wasn't exactly being honest on the hours, so you can't even use that as a marker for how many hours. So in terms of how many hours they work, I think that's kind of a tough question to answer right now. It would just be I think we'd have to give it a year and kind of track how many hours they're going through, and then you'd be able
Well,
to.
it's, again, it's not on the hours. It's on the availability of being on call 24/7. That's a stipend pretty much for that availability.
And it used to be union, right? Now it's not?
No, it still is.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Discussion over.
No, on that.
I thought the union had dropped. I thought the union was out of that.
Now over to the senior center. I don't think there was anything we were missing on this one. And we can go to the mill rate calc, but we're missing a line item, so it's not gonna be honest
What?
on where we are. This won't give us a true calc because we're still missing line items.
Where is it?
Hasn't moved. There's your total sheet. Let me go back to the first cell because I think we should probably have a discussion on this. So we're looking, I mean, a lot of this is going to come down to capital. We're looking based on this of a capital outlay of 350,000. We know we're capturing some items back to capital that were outstanding. We need to maybe discuss taking some money out of fund balance and putting it in a capital unassigned. So future years, we have money set aside there, just like kind of Lou was talking about the truck. that we know we're gonna have to fund in the next couple of years.
Well, if it's gotta come out, it's gotta come out. I mean, if they need a new truck, they need a new truck.
We're doing 20, we're doing 30 for the Lake District. Feeling happy?
I think so. That was a good 30 for the lake control, I think is reasonable this year. Would be reasonable on everybody else.
Generous all of a sudden. I just said, at far all of a sudden, whee!
All right, well, I mean, we've basically plowed through it, guys, in record time, and I'll save this, get everybody a copy for now, and we can look at our minutes for, or go look at any old or new business we want to get into.
We gotta revisit, you're probably gonna have to dig it out. We're gonna revisit what you guys did last week when I got kicked off.
Yeah, exactly. You and Carrie were both kicked off. And that was never brought up in the minutes.
Yeah, I didn't know
not
if it
in-
needed to be.
Wait,
We're not on
we're
minutes.
not on minutes. I'll fix that in a minute.
Sorry.
Okay. I just, it's the list of capital.
Yeah.
No, right.
There you go.
Thank you. Okay, there's a couple of things I'm not sure about. The thing that sticks out at me is recovering capital, and there's a conservation commission fundraising amount in there, so that is not a capital expense.
That's been held in capital, though.
But it's not a capital expense, and it has.
No, but it's in the account.
I go with it, and before we do this, I want to double check to make sure we're doing it right. Because there was something very specific about fundraising money. And it may have been held in capital, but it's not a capital item. So I wasn't on, or I was locked out when you guys made that motion last week.
So do you want to remake the motion?
I like, who made the motion?
Give me a minute, let me check the minutes.
Well, you can't remake a motion. You have to have a new motion.
Yeah, rescind the motion.
We have to rescind it.
Who made the motion last week?
Give me a second, I'll tell you.
I think I may have.
Adele.
So I rescind the motion.
You make a motion to rescind the motion from last week?
That's correct.
Is there a second?
Aye. Carrie,
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Okay,
unanimous.
unanimous. So I just want that, I just want to check on that amount, and I haven't, or just on that item. I didn't get a chance to this week. So I did, all right, go down to the next one.
Yeah, I'll check with Rick on Monday.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to check with him. I just want to check into it because it was very specific things about fundraising, and I don't know, because it's not a capital expense, if it even needs to be on this list, or there's a certain amount of time where it can be absorbed in. NCAR had the exact, whatever it is on that. And I talked to Laura Allen, and neither one of us could remember exactly what it was, so.
So we're rescinding it because you want to get further clarification of what it actually is.
I want to do it correctly, yeah. It's just a
Okay.
matter of record keeping and doing it correctly. So when we do it, it's.
It might not have to be on this list for us to capture that money. It might not have to be on this list,
I
so.
just want to be accurate on the list, and I want to be accurate, and that money may just go back after a certain amount of time is what I think it is. So again, I'm going for accuracy, that's all. We'll revisit that next week.
All right, is there any other new business?
Are you gonna make a motion to move the other items?
Wasn't that done last week?
Hold it for.
No, you just
a week.
rescinded a motion to take all those items back.
Yeah,
It was two separate motions, wasn't it?
It was 2 motions.
well, I'm not talking about the projects being removed. That has to go to town meeting. We're talking about the overages and the unused portions of what's in our capital non-recurring account.
Right. But didn't you just rescind that motion or no?
Yes.
I did.
Yeah,
Yes, so I wanna get the information that we need and then do it correctly.
okay.
So the motion still stands to send to town meeting the $14,000 to be removed from the projects that weren't being completed.
Yes.
That's
We're
still-
gonna hold off on the town clerk vault upgrade one. I talked with Lori today.
Oh, good. Okay.
We're gonna look into getting that vault up to the proper fire code, fire rating. So the 10,000 will have to stay.
Okay, do you want us to rescind that and just hold this until we have that information?
Well, the town clerk vault one's just we're not gonna move that, we're not gonna bring that to a town meeting.
Okay,
The rest of them, other than Conservation Commission, are fine.
Only thing we'd have going to the town meeting then is just the $4,000 from,
from
The chip seal.
transfer chip seal.
Yeah,
So do we need to rescind the motion and remake it for just the 4,000?
I don't know if that motion, is the selectmen are the ones that do the call?
you'd make a recommendation to the Board of Selectmen to bring that to a town meeting.
Right,
Right.
so I don't think we have to rescind the motion, I think it's already in play. And now it's up to the selectmen.
Yeah, you can do it that way.
Right, the call.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah,
So how do you want me to word this for the minutes?
just that we're rescinding the first one,
Yeah.
Christine.
Okay.
Damn formalities.
Oh, you have no idea.
Stupid,
You have no idea.
stupid. No
Let
wonder
me
nothing
get you a
gets done.
copy of Robert's rules for some light reading.
No wonder nothing gets done. All right, anything else in new business or old business we want to discuss?
No.
Okay, we'll move into the minutes for last week. So if we want to amend anything on the minutes, let me know and I can type it in.
It needs to be amended.
Yeah, hold on. I thought you had it in front of you. 1 second. There you go. You have it now.
Quick little amendments. We just have to put, we have to keep track of people, it's a pain, I know, but people coming in and out.
Okay, I didn't realize we had to do that.
So
Yeah.
I make a motion, we don't accept the minutes at this point. It has to be rescinded to state that Tracy and both Carrie were knocked out of the meeting last week.
Yeah, no, I can add that in now and then we can accept the minutes. So,
Okay, all right, go ahead.
But, all right, so you're gonna amend, right?
yeah, I'm gonna amend them right now. What approximate time do you want that?
I got kicked out at 7:05. Or my system failed me at 7:05. I don't know how you wanna word it. You just say left the meeting. I think I came back. I rejoined at 7:30,
7, what time? 7?
7:05, rejoined at 7:30. I'm guessing. But
Okay, Carrie, what do you want for you?
So I think because I was out before Tracy came back in, so let's say 7:20. And I came back in when you had finished the budget, so,
7:40.
okay. No, it's more than that. I was out for much more than 10 minutes.
7:40. What time did we end last week? 8:30, so should we just say 8 o'clock?
Yeah, I mean, I just heard the end of the meeting. I didn't hear. So 8:10, let's do 8:10.
So now you can do the minutes as amended.
I make a motion to accept the amended minutes.
Is there a second?
Aye, Carrie.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
So moved. Can you get that to something?
all right, public comment.
Public hearing?
Is there any public here?
Or any public hearing?
I don't think so. Somebody's in the waiting room. All right. That makes it very easy. Can we have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion to adjourn at 7:45. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
That
Yeah,
was Phil that second?
he did, yeah. I'm just gonna, I'll email everybody the school budget right now, and then I'm gonna email Kristen DeVilla and make sure she can make it next week or the week after, whichever one she can make it, guys, will be our next meeting. And then we have one on the 15th for Chris Leone. All right. Other than that, I hope everyone has a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Thanks,
Happy
bye.
Easter.
Thank you.